Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzell. I'm in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Fluid Art Studio. That's Studio Gallery. That's my old ring pour cup. And first in is last out, so I'm going to use some of my Vivid Intense Fluorescent. I'm going to shake that because obviously it's been a little while. And then I'm going to use some Frosted, which is a Prizm pour, which is a bit thicker. And I'm going to use some of my Burmese Red, which is from the Fairy Tales. It's a primary element. And I'm going to use some Chantilly Lace, a Prizm pour. Some Wild Orchid, another Prizm pour. I seldom do ring pour cups anymore. I don't know why I stopped. I really, really like them. This is a combination of Frosted with some Vivid Intense, Ultramarine Blue, Dioxazine, Violet, and a little bit of magenta. It's basically just a custom purple. And I'm going to go for a little more Chantilly Lace and a whole bunch more Vivid Intense Fluorescent Red Violet. I'm thinking right from here I've got Black Raspberry. Maybe I'll do a little bit more. I'm going to have too much paint, I know I am. More Frosted. But I love these colors, so it's really hard to resist. And then the Black Raspberry. And hopefully that will be more than enough paint. I have leftover paints. I don't know if I'm going to use them or not yet. We'll see. And if I do use them, I'll list the colors underneath the video. I've got a 10 by 10 canvas. And I really want to put a little bit of paint down. But I'm nervous because it's just Artist Loft white mixed with Floetrol and GAC 800, and it's not very heavy. But I'm thinking that having some, and it's bubbly now that I've shaken it, I'm thinking that having some paint to start with would be a good idea. It has, like I said, been a very long time since I did a ring pour, and I do see something in there I want to pull out. These tweezers are awesome with just no bend, straight tip. On my Amazon link, underneath the link tree, underneath show more. You know what? Those are a lot of bubbles. I'm gonna use my torch. I used a propane torch because butane did not work for me very well. Matter of fact, not worked well is an understatement. I'd go through a container a week, and they're $5 a piece, and I have 4 or 5 torches from when I did it 5 years ago. All right, so kind of want to think I could have used some black in here. So it's a watering pour, not a ring pour. But it's going to serve the same purpose. Well, there's a ring pour. Sort of, kind of. Seems like the Artist Loft base is working the way I was hoping it would. Now I kind of want another container dump off into, but usually what I use and what I will use now is a edge catcher, and that's just a sheet of plastic. Mine come from the protective front panels of a box of, or a package of 6 Artist Loft canvases, 16 by 20 inch canvases. That base is working so well. I still want to put something else in there. Now, I know most people pour this away, but I can't really bring myself to do that because I usually like the patterns so much. I'm not sure about that Artist Loft, but I'm liking the pattern, so I'm not going to complain yet. And oftentimes, if I have enough paint left on my edge catcher when I'm done, I just scoop it up with one of my Oxo Omelette Turning Flip and Fold spatulas from Good Grips that I discovered 5 years ago. And you can find those on my link tree on the Amazon link also. So when the paint meets the edge of the canvas and the edge catcher, it just sort of creates a seal. So I'm not worried about my corners yet. Like I said, I saved a little bit of paint. That may not be, it may or may not be enough. You can also roll this right down. I gotta remember that trick about the Artist Loft. That was not as much paint as I was expecting. I'm liking my patterns though. And the whole point to this was to pour my leftover colors in ribbons over. So we'll see how that goes. That may happen. I want to cover that corner, so I'm going to tilt my puddle right down there and run this down. You can squeeze the paint against the edge catcher as you go to help it run down faster. And as you do that, you also cover your edge. But you will get to a point where you can't. Let's see if I can. Without running any paint off the canvas. I'd like to. I'm really impressed with how incredibly flowy this turned out to be, and I'm glad I did this experiment. I'm even liking the colors. I can hear the paint hitting the silicone mat though. Now, I've got enough paint to go on this edge. When I see something in my canvas, I'm going to knock off anything dripping off right back on the edge catcher as best I can. Pick up that edge catcher. And I see some stuff in here that doesn't belong. Now I thought I wasn't going to go quite as far as I went because I wanted to be able to pour the wandering ribbons on and then tilt those around. Right now I want to do what I said I was going to do. Grab all that paint with my Oxo Omelette Turning Flip and Fold spatula. Just let it apply itself. There's very little waste once you learn how to use an edge catcher. I've been doing it a long time. I don't do it as much as I used to. But I gotta say, there's not much on there, and whatever dries on there, eventually you can, whoop. Well, that was interesting. You can eventually cut it up and use it for collage. I'm going to move it out of the way right now. And I don't really need anything else here. I'm going to throw that in the bucket. And it occurs to me I may want that edge catcher back in a minute. I'm going to take the colors in the dish, which are mostly greens with some red and some orange, some carnation. And I'm wondering what to take it out of the dish with. But I've got a couple of scoops. And that's actually pretty, and it might be really interesting. I'm kind of inclined right at the moment to put either some Vivid Intense Turquoise, which is right here somewhere. I got all kinds of beautiful colors. Don't forget I'm a Colourarte affiliate in case you want Colourarte products. There's a 20% off Colourarte coupon code. Let's just put a little Mystique in there, which is a primary element. Although I've just discovered what I was looking for, and that's the turquoise, which is a Vivid Intense. Just a little bit, just to throw a little bit more moisture in there. Get rid of my white paint. Now you could scoop this up with anything. As a matter of fact, I sometimes dribble it right out of the dish, but I'm nervous it's a little heavy. I like this little spoon for that. They have butter dishes for events that I like to use. I used to use a lot of, I'm kind of thinking I really want some more Fandango. I've never done this exactly like this, and I'm kind of looking forward to it, actually. So I'm just going to leave that right away and grab some Fandango, like I said. Because I love the color of Fandango with purple. And this red was a surprise that how much I liked it. I don't think I'm going to get any of it unless I add some more back in. And I'm sure we're going to lose some of our original design by tipping. And I feel like I'm wasting paint, but I'm not because it's leftovers. Come on, I've got crunchies on the bottom of my dish. I wish they still sold these at Michael's in the party section. If you have a Michael's, it might be worth checking. I do need to use up all that paint. There's no point in trying to save it another day. That was over the top of it. If you saw, that was Glad cling wrap. Press and seal. Excuse me. No. Cling wrap, not it. Press and seal, definitely. I might wind up using a Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula to scrape out my little container, my homemade scoop, which is in the summer solstice event video of mine. I show how to make it. It's basically just a rectangle scored and bent and then trimmed down a little bit. I have no idea how this is going to look, but the last person I saw do this was also in the summer solstice event. I think it was Mandy Roca. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I loved everything about how the painting turned out. And it started as a ring pour. And then it had traveling ribbons, and she copied someone else, she said. But I used to do this when I started. Now if I want another color, I could just squeeze bottle it on, I think. I could also stop now since I use GAC 800 by Golden. And it keeps my paint from cracking. This is, look at those colors. I love that red in there. I might put some carnation in just because. Because I like the shock value. I don't need that bubble to go away though. And the Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatulas also be good for getting the whole rest of the paint out of the dish. And then that can go into the bucket. Or I could spread my residuals on my Lola-Fi silicone mat that's catching paint. That's too muddy. Alright, I'm just going to get rid of that right now. And because I was talking about the carnation, I think I'm going to try it. I might be sorry, but I don't think so. Give it a bit of a shake. It's a little shocking. Is it all I want? I could do jasmine too. Alright, so now is the moment to bring back my edge catcher, which I kind of wish I had cleaned off completely. But I'm going to use it. Oh, What a mess. That's the Artist Loft. I guess I'm just going to get painty today. I'm going to try and switch corners so that everything moves a little bit. Oh, I've got a few spots I'm going to stick my finger into. I think there's probably too many lines. But it was fun playing with it, and I did have the leftovers to use. And I could do anything I wanted to at this point, even swipe, which is something I think Mandy did as well. I'm leaving my fingerprints on the edge of the canvas as I go, which is not part of my plan. I might have to scrape off my residuals and put them in another dish, but maybe not. Let me put a couple things away. Just ran my elbow into my painting. I'm not sure whether the carnation, which is a Prizm pour by the way, was a good thing or a bad thing, but it's there. I'm pretty sure I won't be putting as much Artist Loft base layer down again if I do this again. And I definitely want to move that. Right back into my cup, I think. It's kind of pretty. It's very unusual. Whoopsie. I do have little acetate tools which make it very convenient. I've also got another OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula, which is how I often get residuals off of my silicone mat, which I would really like to have happen right now. Yeah, I probably could have stopped. For sure. I need to make a new acetate tool that's this size because this one got bent. But we'll go for a smaller one. And I'm wondering if maybe the teal boom gel. I think that'll be pretty. I hope so. I might be wrong. So we're going to use a little teal boom gel, which I probably could have opened up a little more. And some Amsterdam Black and Australian Floetrol. And I don't think I set my timer, so that's not good. Looks like it's gone. That white is coming right up. Put a few spirals in. I'm wondering about a comb. I don't need that. I wish I knew how long. If I hear the camera shut off, I'll know we're done. I've got some boom gel that's pearlescent violet, which might or might not show up well at all. But it comes out a lot easier than the teal. I still like my colors in the background. Actually, I'm pretty happy with that now. I am so sorry, but I ran out of time and I didn't realize it because my timer didn't get set correctly. So what I did was I took my skewer and I went in and I pulled at a lot of things like so to make little, they remind me of shells somehow. But you can do it to almost anything, and I added a few spirals here and there. And because the white was in the background, which I'm not necessarily recommending, it came up through and added some texture to things, which is pretty cool actually. So this is what I did. Just pulled down so it creates the look of petals. Let's do another one, or two, or three. In any case, so like I said, I'm so sorry that I did that. Or didn't do that, but I thought I would at least try and shimmer it at you and show you that a little swipe and some tipping, and just don't give up. Something can always come from something you're not super happy with, and I still like the colors. They're very different, but I'm good with them. So I love you guys. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for your kind words and your comments. You keep my morale boosted. Check my link tree, and don't forget the 20% off Colourarte coupon code, the 10% off Pixel Paint Designs coupon code. My email is easpb and the word gallery spelled out at gmail.com. I do sell my artwork, and I give lessons at the house in Spring Hill, Florida. Don't forget to share my videos if you're feeling kind, and if you give me a thumbs up, it helps my standing on YouTube. My Amazon link is on the link tree, and my PayPal icon's on the bottom right-hand corner of my YouTube channel banner. Those of you who joined the membership, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And those of you who make donations, same to you. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you take care of each other and take care of yourselves. I will see you anon. Check my community board for tomorrow's video if there is one. It's usually at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. No, I love you. My paint pouring recipes below show more, and you can always feel free to ask me questions. I am happy to help you. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. Priscilla out. I know I'm not supposed to be here, but this is the dry version, and I thought I would take a second to show you how incredibly shimmery adding Jasonja gloss varnish to the mix makes the painting. This is a 10 by 10, and it's for sale, and you should inquire if you're interested. I love you guys. I'll see you anon. Bye for now. Priscilla out.